Status?
Nothing's changed, Astrogator.
Understood. Status? What's new?
Well, nothing, really. At least not in the last 5 seconds, sir.
Right. Thank you.
I'm leaving the excavation site. How did he come down? I've got Gorski's signal.
So soon? It's unlikely to be here.
Then who?
Not who, but what. It's weird. Dr. Gorski hardly ever parted.
You were correct, sir. It's just our probe. It looks inactive.
Can't be completely broken if you picked up a signal. I'd say it's running in safe mode. Please try to power it on.
Do we have time for this?
It's for a good reason, Doctor. The probe could prove useful in the search. And besides... you'll see.
Okay. I'm opening the probe. Turning the systems on.
No, stop. Wait for my instructions. There's a button on the left side of the fuse box. Hold it, and then turn the dial again. Now go ahead.
Slide records?
Correct.
I didn't know we had access to them.
You couldn't have known. This is not standard procedure. But as they say, extremis malice, extrema remedia.
Let's take a look. A photo of the first days on the surface. They started exploring the littoral zone almost immediately.
They reported as much. Wasn't until the 4th day that comms failed.
I recognize these structures. This is where they began to dig. Hours passed. 3 crew members are still there. Dr. Gorski must have left already.
We lost contact shortly thereafter.
The probe followed him, and he followed the detector's readings.
Going after those metal structures.
Yes, that's what I meant.
What's next?
Last slide. There's mostly noise.
Nothing in particular stands out to you, Doctor? They were digging and suddenly, poof, people are dead?
No need to shout, Astrogator. I'm just letting you know what I see. That's all. Hang on. An absurdly high electromagnetic field reading.
That's something. Sort of. What are the earlier readings?
Checking. Still high in the slide just before. And earlier, quite normal. It happened in a matter of seconds. But there's nothing except dunes. Sand, a few rocks, a shadow.
Shadow?
Another sandstorm, I guess.
All right, Doctor. Let's move on. You may turn on the fuses now. We'll take the probe with us. My radar. Now I can give commands to the probe. And? What do you see? Is it working correctly?
If you run it on manual steering, sir, then it works just fine.
That's exactly what I'm doing. You have a keen eye. I'll put it in auto mode. From now on, it will follow you, Doctor.
Oh, it'd be nice to have some company. I mean, apart from yours, sir.
1 second. That's odd. There's no data in the probe's memory. No ID, no nothing. Do you want to give it a new ID? Name it, basically. After all, it'll be with you for a while. So, what's it going to be?
Huh. A name for the teleprobe. All right. I can think of something.
Copy that. I'm listening.
Please enter Luna. L-U-N-A.
Done. Now, a few more tweaks, and you'll have a flying measurement center at your disposal.
The detector's measurement is very clear. I'm going straight on.
No crossroads? Branches?
Not yet. Just one thick, tangled vein. I guess I found the first point.
You guess? We have to be sure, Doctor.
Well, I'm at the first clear branching of these structures, such as reported by Dr. Gorski.
All right. What happened next?
He followed the branch to the right. Another thing he reported was a massive vertical structure. The probe detected something.
I see that in the readings. What is it exactly?
The structure from the notes. It fits the description perfectly. Well done, Luna. I knew I could count on you.
Well, we didn't bring it to the surface for no reason. Even in the first stage procedure.
And now I'm gonna apply for my own.
As soon as you find Dr. Gorski, I'll see to it myself. All right, how about that point? What does it look like? What caught the doctor's attention?
It looks like some kind of organic formation. A root system? Maybe these structures have the ability to expand. Somehow.
Shouldn't they be organic then?
Ah, that's the problem. They look organic, but they're not. The next point, the third one, is a metal bundle, running along the bottom of some water reservoir.
Interesting. An object as such should be easy to locate.
There's the water.
And the metal bundle?
As expected. It's at the bottom. Before you ask, sir, there's little to say about it.
All right. So how many are left?
2 points. Or at least that's what he told Koval. What he did next, it's hard to assess.
Well, the battery in the detector lasts for only a few hours, so he couldn't have gone much further.
The fourth point is a structure that fills a rock massive, on top of which he found surface structures.
Sounds like a crucial node in this whole system. Yes, no? Everything's all right?
Yes. I just need him definitely uphill. I think I'll catch But Dr. Gorski on the other side.
Well, that wouldn't be such a bad scenario, right?
Of course not. Though I wouldn't mind if we bumped into each other before the climb. I think we have the fourth point. I confirm. It's the fourth one. I see our flag. Drags on so much. Sometimes I think you're gonna take off without me, sir.
Don't count on it, Doctor. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh. Hey, Luna. Whoa, hey, easy there.
3, 2, 1.
The land is departing.
Yes, they're on their way.
What's the plan for the second flight? The same place?
That would work best. Proof. When you and Dr. Gorski come back, I'll send the lander right away.
My legs feel really heavy.
Give yourself a moment to rest, Doctor. You certainly deserve it.
I've reached the top. The doctor discovered something new from here. Something he called bushes.
Oh, I've heard that term before.
In their conversations between Koval and Gorski.
No, Jasna. You're the one who reported it to me. Right after you landed.
Seriously? Well, I don't see anything like it now, sir. noted down the parameters. Azimuth 350. Distance 200 meters.
Copy that. I'm sending the probe.
Got it. I see the bushes.
And the doctor?
Hard to tell. Visibility is poor. It's gonna be harder than before. I don't know how the doctor...
But when it comes to finding a safe route, there won't be a problem. But you'll have to get there on your own 2 feet.
I suppose the probe will carry out the first task. It's capable yet?
Of course. I set the environment analysis mode. The probe will calculate the best route between your location and your destination. It'll guide you along the defined path. The calculations will only take a moment.
Hi, Luna. Lead the way. I must say, it's a clever device, this probe of ours. Hey, can it fly for this long?
Yes. Longer than you can stand on your feet.
Sounds like the perfect research unit. Maybe even better than a human.
Well, let's not exaggerate.
Of course, I wasn't being serious. However helpful they may be, they're still just tools in the hand of man, often faulty. We have a problem.
Something serious?
I already mentioned the faulty machines, right? Well, the route determined by the algorithm goes over a chasm.
I can repeat the command.
No. We'll go around.
Unfortunately, this is an outdated model. Such mistakes are inevitable. But the perception module itself has already been greatly improved. Its accuracy increases exponentially.
Exponentially? Can you imagine us, proteinaceous creatures, developing so quickly, sir?
No, not in the course of evolution. You can't perfect a person like that.
That's right, you can't. We wait thousands of years for visible changes.
Have you started to fear for your position?
Well, everything indicates that the clear distinction between humans and robots will soon disappear.
And then what?
Well, if we assume that they'll surpass us, things will get complicated. Because in order to program a brain with computing power equal to that of a human, you need a brain with computing power higher than that of a human. Ergo, a man cannot make a machine smarter than a man.
Then who else would design it?
Self-learning algorithms? Some spontaneous process? Or pure chaos? Something inhuman, that's for sure. Shh, Astrogator. Can you hear that?
What am I supposed to be hearing?
That's the point. Nothing. Silence. We're talking about robots, and Dr. Gorski still hasn't spoken on the channel.
Well, I don't know. He must be a long way from here.
Dr. Gorski, are you here somewhere? These bushes are kind of weird.
You better stay away, Doctor. I'd like a brief description. Just keep a distance.
Allow me to use the language I would use to describe living forms, sir.
Of course.
So they look like pituitary, brush-like formations. They're high, more or less, from 1 to several meters. They grow out of cracks in the bare rock. They can be singular, though in some locations they create a uniform thicket that covers the walls of the ravine in a rusty brush-like layer. That's how it looks, to put it briefly.
Would you also venture to guess their significance? Some function, purpose?
Staying on the topic of biological analogies, these bushes remind me of corals, in a purely visual category, because they're far from marine organisms. So I would guess that these are colonial structures, perhaps rock-forming ones. However, their main structure has nothing to do with corals. No noticeable mesenchymal tissues, no nidocyst, matocyst, or spirocyst. No visible oral discs.
Yeah, all right, Doctor. I didn't ask for a marine biology lecture.
Astrogator, Gorski's not here. I'm afraid he continued to explore. And if he went where I think he did, he might have lost contact with the camp as well as Dragonfly.
So we will most likely lose contact too.
Possibly. Well, there's only one way to be certain. It's your decision, sir.
Please continue your search. We have to find him.
That's the unwritten rule, isn't it? Under no circumstances do we leave anyone behind.
That's right, Doctor. You can lose everything else, but you have to have the crew on board. The living and the dead. This is one of the most crucial imperatives, even though it's not in the regulations. Doctor?
The line's breaking up, but I understood. I'll let you know, sir, when I come out of the tunnel.
Altitude 24,000. Speed 250. Going smoothly up. Already at 12,000. Throttle down. 30 seconds till touchdown. Everything's looking good. Over?
Roger that.
Altitude 5,000. Ignition 10%. I record data dropout, but otherwise still looking good. Final descent.
Copy. Entering final. Hopper has landed. I repeat, Hopper has landed. Astrogator, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Any side effects? Landing wasn't too hard on you?
All good? Spine still in one piece. No signs of overstrain. Not even shortness of breath.
Perfect. Hopefully the hike to camp goes just as smoothly.
I'm going outside.
Visibility?
100%. The dust has already settled. I've located the second lander. Our people are still on this planet.
Ah, very good. I was afraid they might try to fly off, which wouldn't be the best idea given the loss of communication with Dragonfly.
Sir, something's wrong.
What is it?
The hatch is half open. Did they report hydraulics failure?
How should I know? You were the last person in contact with the crew, Doctor.
Right. I'm inside.
And? How is it?
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't go back to Dragonfly. Their lander looks damaged, to put it mildly. Or more accurately, it seems like a storm has passed through it.
Understood. I mean, I don't understand how it happened, but that means...
Hopper is the only vehicle that can take us home. Affirmative.
Right. Well, then we can't afford another mistake. I'm taking the lander into orbit. I'll send it directly to the camp as soon as we find a suitable landing zone.
We've gotten out of worse than this. Equipment breaks from time to time, that's normal. But now,
Go ahead. What's bothering you?
this lack of communication, it takes too long. Especially considering there's a cyberneticist amongst them.
Yes. It worries me too.
You were right, Cobble. It's beautiful here. at a time. They stopped for a break.
How do you know? Are there any signs of the crew?
I found a cigarette butt and a pack. Someone was smoking here.
So, they didn't give a damn about the regulations.
Disrupting the ecosystem.
No, that's not the point. I understand you want to minimize the effects of our interference here, Doctor, but the mission's safety is at stake. I don't think I have to explain to you the dangers of igniting a dusty atmosphere. Preserving the integrity of Regis 3's already extinct ecosystem is not a priority in this scenario. Maybe we're actually.
That's true. It's just, apart from keeping our crew safe, I also have academic concerns.
That's completely understandable, Doctor. However, we must focus on the mission. It has the highest priority.
Excuse my interruption, sir. Can you please confirm that I'm on the correct route?
Yes, I confirm. This rate will reach the camp within an hour. So, continue.
Forgive me, but such thinking is an anti-example of the galactocentric code. We should explore other worlds, while keeping our own interference to a minimum, whether in the solar system, in the far reaches of the Milky Way, or in a completely different galaxy.
I've heard a thing or two about galactocentrism. Do not meddle.
This route may be faster, but it's not the easiest. Anyway, back to our conversation.
Seize the void, but do not attack that which has developed its own equilibrium over millions of years. Do not consider anything other than human as either better or worse. It all sounds beautiful, Doctor, but no one will be satisfied with the void or someone else's well-being. In my opinion, this is an idealized doctrine of scientists who spend most of their lives idly gazing at the sky.
Like me?
Not at all. You are actively involved in space exploration, Doctor.
Seems to be slipping through my fingers like sand. So much. What is this? Astrogator, I found a peculiar inorganic structure. It looks like some spiky metal growths.
Artificial plants? Is spontaneous growth possible with this type of structure?
Oh, I've never seen anything like this. I wish I had time to run some tests.
When the situation is stabilized, we will take samples. I promise.
Suddenly.
Please don't push it. Being on the surface for just under half-life.
That's not it. I feel darkness.
Come on.
Hang on. you there? Over. I guess that's a no.
Breathe!
What's going on, sir? Astrogator?
Dr. Yasna, I tried to resuscitate him, but...
No, please. Koval?
Dr. Krauter.
How? There was nothing wrong with him.
Hypovolemic shock. He bled out during the flight.
I still don't understand. He wasn't hurt.
His injuries must have occurred later. I found him like this when I entered Hopper.
I can't believe it. It was that damn robot. He must have dropped the doctor. Killed him.
No, Yasna, I, as commander, misjudged the situation. Everything indicates that the doctor had an accident after he left the camp on his own. I should have known he was endangering himself.
I confirm, Gorski was here. His rope is still hanging from the slope.
That's a good sign. Since he left it, he intends to come back this way.
But why hasn't he yet? I'm going down after him. Tell me one thing, sir. What did you do with Krauter's body?
I placed him in a cryochamber.
Are you going to use a grave tapper?
Yes, I'm considering that as a possibility. What is your opinion? Should we look into their heads?
The more we learn, the better chance we have to help Koval. Let's use a tapper.
Yes, a report.
One sec. Oh, I'm at the end of the rope.
Isn't that good?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
I'm stuck. I'm hanging with all my weight on the rope, away from the wall. There's still a fair few meters left to the ground.
Can you go back?
Using just my hands, strapped with all this extra weight? No, not a chance.
What if you sway?
No good. I can't reach anything.
Any other ideas?
I can just jump off.
Is that safe?
A substantial fall on unsteady ground. This is hardly a maneuver that I would describe as safe.
So let's take a moment to analyze the situation.
I'm thinking, if Gorski went down this way and didn't break anything...
Yeah, we don't know that, Yasna. He could keep going even with injuries.
Well, I'm not hanging here forever, if we still haven't come up with anything.
There is a certain possibility, or rather uncertain, but maybe it's worth trying.
Astrogator, as much as I love complex analysis, I'm really sick of all this hanging.
Yes, of course. Can you see the probe?
Yes. It's flying near me.
Good. If I instructed it to fly as close as possible to you, you could grab onto it.
You sure it will hold me?
That I cannot guarantee.
All right. Let's give it a try.
I'm entering the instruction. You must guide me.
2 meters forward. Stop, that's enough.
You have a really good eye. Exactly 2 meters.
You could say so. I fell from a lower height. It was a soft landing, though.
We had our last contact with Regis a few minutes after noon. Even then, Dr. Gorski was walking alone. Communications blew up shortly before he got here.
This place is amazing. It's all made up of these structures. Except they don't look like creations of nature anymore.
Maybe that's why Dr. Gorski, not to mention the Alliance.
Well, if we're looking for something on this planet, this could be it. These structures form entire multi-story complexes. They look like a city.
Are you saying that...
No. There's no point in jumping to conclusions yet. Left or right? Dr. Gorski set up the flags.
So, he kept going, despite the lack of communication with the rest.
You'd have to see it with your own eyes, sir. This place. Gorski may have lost himself in his discovery. Are you receiving a signal?
What signal?
From Dr. Gorski.
No, none. Why are you asking?
He tried to open up a connection, set up a transmitter.
There's nothing on the comms, but I'll check the record history. Please give me a moment.
All right. I'll try to walk this kind of bridge.
2 more hours.
Huh?
That's all Gorski has left of oxygen, at best.
And at worst?
He's just finishing it up. Though it all depends on his activity.
If I remember correctly, the atmosphere here is breathable.
Basically, yes. Dr. Krauter, however, warned that the methane content...
I know. But the effects won't be immediate. That gives us a few extra hours.
How's the terrain? Those structures, are they still everywhere?
Yep. Wherever I look, there's metal.
What's going on?
Just a sec. I need to get out. Phew. The load-bearing capacity of this place is difficult to predict. The structures literally collapsed beneath me.
But you're fine?
Yeah. I just need... Again!
Maybe you should use the detector. It'll indicate the thickness of the structures.
Okay. I can see a safe route on the detector. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but the oceanic forms here are similar to those on Earth. So there should be similarities on land as well.
Similarities?
Life, Astrogator. I still think there should be life on the surface of Regis 3. Move.
Then please be careful.
I'm trying. Out of the frying pan. Into a hole.
Doctor? I found something after all.
From Gorski?
It's hard to tell. There are errors in the transmission header. I'm going to play it, so we'll find out.
Gorski to base. I repeat, this is Gorski. Base, come in.
No doubt. It's him. Now let's keep listening. But as soon as you report anything, Doctor, I'll stop the recording.
Bugger. No confirmation again. I report. I've made an amazing discovery. Geometric structures that... a thicket of bushy, pointed rods and slats. Mostly iron, but not only. Molybdenum, carbon, tungsten. Altogether similar to a giant integrated circuit. A million swarm of tangled cables. Not a trace of electric current, polarity, not even residual magnetism. Maybe once upon a time, centuries ago, petawatts or exawatts of power flowed this way. To compare with something, it's probably a machine. Some kind of information collective structure. Maybe it was some kind of electronic brain. It makes me think of the Lyrans, a race of extinct sentient beings. Supposedly, they knew about light astrogation before we invented the wheel. They had to save themselves from the explosion of Nova. They sent ships. The remains of those ships have been found, ashed to a chip glued together. I've seen hypothetical schematics. The structures here remind me of those. Okay, moving on. Readings.
Well, that's it. What follows is just a humming noise. Any thoughts, Doctor?
So far, it all leads to one conclusion. This is not a place for a man. Nor for any humanoids.
Then who is it for?
Maybe it's really an alien technology. Those Lyrans.
As far as I know, all information about the Lyran civilization is just guesswork. Many consider Lyrans to be just a myth, so I wouldn't take it too seriously.
Well, I think there might be something to it. can see the relay up close. Looks broken. Such damage could be caused by a local meteorological phenomenon. A severe thunderstorm with litho and electrometeors.
So, the weather is to blame for all of it?
Well, I can't think of a better explanation at the moment. Whilst traversing this planet, I'm becoming more and more convinced that what I know is not the same as what exists, what can exist.
I must admit it's an interesting thought, and quite disturbing.